talking about stress, if we're managing it or if we're carrying it. And if we're managing it, what are we doing to manage? I've learned how to use the tools that work for me. I work the word and use the other tools, workout, meditation. We got this. Sounds like we got this. Yeah, we got this already. But it's good to talk about it just in case someone is in the bushes or just in case somebody is on the replay. But there's the good stress. There is a such thing as good stress. The good stress. So good stress looks like going to do a live for the first time, or even doing a live for the 100th time. It's the excitement, the adrenaline, the butterflies, and the anticipation. That's good stress. So good stress is when you're going to do something for the very first time. So there's that excitement there, and there's the butterflies, and you're still kind of nervous, but it's for a positive thing. And so you're going to go into whatever that thing is positive, but just a little anxious, but not in a negative way. So it is good stress. It's short term, it's manageable. Jackie says it motivates, focus, energy, and it enhances performance as well, often creating a feeling of excitement and fulfillment. Yes, I still get those butterflies, Grant says, before going live each time, no matter how many times you do it. And so that's a good stress. So, but the bad stress is I call it the overwhelmer. So the overwhelming stress, you receive some bad news, or you're feeling stuck in a situation. It could be a missed bill. Sometimes when we paying bills, we might miss one, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh, I missed this, and now they won't double. And so we need to figure out, how we can go in and manage that. Your bag falling off in public. I've seen people that had ostomy bags that was on a dinner date, and their bag came loose right there at the table. That was, could have been a stressful thing, but because she had her ostomy for so long, she was able to, take care of it and manage it without stressing out. Yes, yes. Our personality temperaments affect how we deal with stress as well. Yes, yes, it does, Grant. And just remembering everything we can't control, but we could breathe. But grounding is my thing. How do you manage when an unexpected family member has taken ill, or you just found out that you have a side effect to this new medication, and it's making you it's hindering your ability to, or your functionality in some way. That could cause stress, so what are we going to do about it? You're out and you're in public, and your sugar went up or it went down. Do you have what you need to manage that in the moment? And I just think it's a good thing to talk about these things sometimes, because as life continues to move, and it moves rapidly, and things start coming in, and we forget we have the tools, but we forget sometimes, and we need one another to help us to remember these things. We just have to remember, if we don't remember anything else, remember one thing at a time, and breathing, grounding, and insurance. For those of us who are on weight loss journeys, in treatment for colorectal, breast, ovarian cancers, and or managing an ostomy bag. You know, what if these suppliers don't get the appliances to you on time? You know, they said that it was going to ship on this day and it was going to arrive on that day, and it's not here, and you're on your last bag. My management for that is, and I've shared it, I always keep extra, even if I have to go out of pocket and purchase at some of these medical suppliers or ostomy supply companies, and I order extra because we don't have no control over shipment. We don't have no control over that. So that's one way I manage. So that's a stress I really experienced when on my pick line. Back in the, you experienced it when you were on the pick line, waiting on those weekly medication shipments. Yes, you know, always have an emergency kit. Coming in contact with 5 things that you see. It could be one of these pictures. If, you know, in my case, one of these pictures on the wall. Why did I put it up there? I can focus on that, you know, focus on 5 different things that I can visually see. About the 4 things that you can touch. I can touch, you know, you got to come in contact with something that's going to bring you back to the center. Things you can hear. Maybe somebody's out mowing the lawn. You know, you can come in contact with that. Maybe someone is playing some music, or, you know, kids are outside playing. Connecting into those sounds. What can you smell? Tapping into your senses is the bottom line. We don't know what life is going to do, but, you know, the best we can do is, you know, be ready with whatever we can do to be ready. Thank you all for being here. Be blessed on this weekend. Be safe. Manage your stress. Don't let that rubber band pop. Don't even have a rubber band if you can. Don't even have a rubber band. And go with God. I'll see you in the next one.